Welcome to BetterSure's New Home Smooth Move webinar. And we really thank you for making time out of your evening to spend with us. I'm your host, Matlhodi Khatle, and I can't start this webinar without congratulating you. Congratulations. Congratulations on your new home. It's a big deal. Really, it is. Because your home represents years of sacrifice, of dreaming, of hard work. And finally, all of that has materialized into this new structure that you are now going to call your home. But we understand that it can be daunting to now live in this new home because now your move is coming up. And there's lots of things that you need to organize, boxes to pack, things to label and prepare for this move. And at the same time, now everyone in your life is almost like a moving expert. They're giving you advice from all different directions on what to do, which is why we're here. We want to lessen that burden by helping you with a proactive plan as you prepare for your move and the ownership of your new home. Let me introduce to you our speakers that you'll be hearing from this evening. Starting with Yolandi Bester, who is the Head of Marketing and Communications at BetterSure, and she'll be talking to us about why we exist. And then we'll be hearing from Tato Chauke, who is one of our sales managers, and she'll be explaining your insurance benefits to you in a really plain and simple, easy way to understand. And then lastly, we'll be hearing from Gavin van Niekerk, who is our home insurance claims manager, who'll be sharing real world claims experience and what you can do to avoid those things that can come up that can take you off your path to protection. Let me hand over to Yolandi to tell us more about BetterSure and why we exist. Yolandi?
Thank you, Mathlori, and good evening, everyone. Why BetterSure exists. We are part of the Better Home Group, and Better Home is also home to Better Bond, one of the largest bond originators, which some of you may have had dealings with, or one of our Mortgage Max partners. But it's also home to many of the very well-known real estate agencies in the country, like RealNet and Remax, Chas, Everett, and so on and so forth. And so, because we're part of this bigger, Better Home Group, we understand the home buying journey literally inside out. And at BetterSure, our vision is really simple. It's bold, but it's simple. And we envision a country where no home dream is ever lost, where no homeowner should ever lose the home that they're owning. And this matters because for homeowners like us, our homes represent around 80% of our total household wealth. That is a massive part of our financial plans. And it's the foundation of everything that we're building for our families and their futures. But unfortunately, sadly, the reality is that as homeowners, we face real risks. And here I'm not talking about tiles lifting and a home not being registered with the COC. I'm talking about floods, fires, crime, death, disability, retrenchments, those real things that you would face that could contribute to you losing your home because it impacts us financially. And so given all of these risks, this is exactly why BetterSure exists. It is to help you have a plan and a proactive plan in place so that you can be ready when life happens. And that is what we love to call a healthy home. And so over the past 2 decades, we've been walking this healthy home journey with more than 110,000 clients. And over the last 5 years, we've paid out more than R1 billion in home insurance and life insurance claims. Now, for BetterSure, those aren't numbers and stats on a piece of paper or on a spreadsheet somewhere. For us, this represents ceilings that we've replaced after a geyser burst or a severe storm incident. It is geysers that we've replaced, especially in winter now when geysers tend to burst. It's homes that we've rebuilt after fire damage when entire homes were demolished. It is bonds that we've paid when our clients couldn't keep up anymore because of disability or critical illness or retrenchments. It represents families that we've helped to keep their homes when life was literally throwing everything at them. And this is why BetterSure is here, is to help you have a proactive plan in place so that you can be ready when life happens. It's exactly why we exist. And now that you know a little bit more about us, I'm going to ask Maflodi to take us through the practical conversation of the day. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Maflodi.
Most people think that moving home starts with boxes and newspapers and packing material, but it actually starts with preparation and having a proactive plan. Specifically, an inventory list. This might be the single most important thing that you do before move day. And we're here to encourage you to start early. Start at least 8 weeks out before moving. And you start with what we call a life folder. Now, this can be physical or digital depending on your preference. But what you have in your life folder, number one, is a home inventory. This is non negotiable. In your home inventory, this is where you're going room by room in your current house and you're taking clear photos of all your belongings. If they are branded, you have to note it on your inventory what the brand is, what model it is, and also place there the estimated replacement value in case it got lost, damaged, or stolen. How much would it cost you to replace it? It's also important as part of your home inventory to keep receipts wherever you do have them. But we understand this can feel daunting because where do you start? You've accumulated so much over the years that it might be a lot of work to do. That's why we've created a healthy home inventory worksheet, which is simple and will help you with everything that you need to do to keep track with your inventory. And we'll share this inventory worksheet with you after the session. This inventory is going to help you to know exactly what to pack and what you need to donate. It will also prevent what Yolandi spoke about under insurance. But most importantly, it makes the claims process simpler and smoother. But what else goes into your life folder? This might be documents that you know you cannot afford to lose. Documents, for example, that link to your identity. So, IDs, birth certificates for all your family members, marriage certificates. This might also be property or financial documents such as municipal bills, your bond documents, building plans, etc. Then you want to think about any things that pertain to your move. So, do you have any quotes or receipts for things that you're buying now that you're moving? This life folder is important because you're not just buying a house, it's a home. So, you're building a legacy, and it's important that you treat it like a legacy from day one. Now let's talk about packing smart. And this is where a lot of people cut corners because we're thinking saving. But this is not really the place where you want to save because you want to invest in good quality packaging material. It's important that you also think about using specialized boxes for any fragile items like mirrors and art. And some of the things that no one tells you, for example, your appliances, your washing machine. Has anyone ever told you to stabilize your machine drum before it goes onto the truck? That's information that comes in handy. Or something as simple as removing the glass shelves in your refrigerator before moving. That can help you pack smart. Now let's talk about a box tracking system. This is something that can help you control the chaos of moving. And this is where we encourage you to have what we call a master numbered list. And on that list, you'll keep note of everything that's in each box. But importantly, your master number list will have corresponding numbers to all the boxes of all the things that you've packed. It's important that you assign numbers to these boxes, and it's important that the numbers are visible on all sides of the box. That way, on delivery day, you'll know exactly what is missing if something's not there. Now, choosing a moving company. We encourage you to start with trusted referrals. So if you can get a referral of a professional moving company, go with that. If there's no referrals to be found, then maybe check a site like Hello Peter for some companies that have good reviews, or online is a pretty good information source. So social media as well as Google reviews can come in really handy. Now let's talk about protecting your valuables. Pack a valuables box. This is for all the small but really valuable things like jewelry, laptops, tablets, etc., as well as your important documents that are in your life folder. Now, this box travels with you in the car. It doesn't go on that moving truck. And this is where you'll have, for example, your home inventory worksheet photos that show proof of all your belongings. So if anything does happen, then you're able to make a claim. Now it's important for you to note that as part of our BetterSure home contents cover, you will have protection for all your belongings, provided they are on a professional moving truck. Now, we have to state this up front. It can't be a DIY truck or your uncle's bakkie that you're using to move. Unfortunately, you love your uncle, we know that, but we cannot guarantee, we cannot give you cover for that. It has to be that your goods are moved on a professional moving truck. But don't worry, Tato will explain this in a little bit more detail when she talks about our insurance benefits. Now, here's the hidden gold, the handover. And I think this was one of the most harrowing moments of Yolandi's story, because when we prepare to move in, we're thinking it's all just about the keys that we receive. Keys are important, but so is knowledge. Knowledge is valuable. So get a full handover from your estate agent or the previous owner. And there are lots of things that you need to know. For example, where are all the keys? Are there any remotes? The gate motor. Think about the utilities around the property. Where's your prepaid meter, the DB board, the water bin collection day? No one tells you that until you wake up one morning and the truck's there and you're thinking, wait, I didn't know. There are many things that you can think about, but don't worry. Things like maintenance. Was there any recent maintenance or repairs done on the property, just as Yolandi shared in her story? Now, if you know if there's any work that's been done, then you can know to match the tiles or the paint or the grout to what's on your property, so that it helps to have that record. And a tip is to take pictures and videos as you go along and you do that walkthrough on your property. And lastly, get your neighbor's contact details. Now, the exciting bit, moving day. Yes, this is the day where you want to start as early as possible. And as you leave your old home, take the meter reading on your electricity meter board. And when you arrive at your new home, take the meter reading as well. It will help just to avoid any disputes that might arise. And then pack what we call an essentials box. This is your first few nights survival kit. Things that go in this box are likely to be what you need just to survive those first few nights. Toiletries, any kettles, coffee mugs, refreshments, a fresh change of clothes, chargers, medication, things that when it's 9 p.m. on that first night and you now have to go through millions of boxes to search for things. No, an essentials box will help be your best friend. So now, we're confident that you have a proactive, smooth move plan in place.
Good evening, everyone. So now that we know, how to plan a smooth move, I do hope that we will definitely ensure that we've got a good story to tell about our own moves. So, seeing that moving has a lot of parts to it, well, that is exactly why we're here today, to ensure that it is as smooth as possible for our clients. And firstly, I'd like for us to talk about your insurance on the day that you move. Firstly, your cover needs to be active from the date of registration, which may be the same date as your occupation date. But if it is not, please do inform us so we can change it on your policy document to ensure that you do have cover. Also, if your banking details, ensure that your banking details are updated. We know that most bond providers will offer clients a discount on your interest rates if you do open an account with them. So if you do decide to do that, or if you have done so, please ensure that you update us, because no debit means no cover. Then also remember that insurance is your choice. Homeowners cover is a requirement with the bank. However, it is absolutely your choice who you'd want to be insured with. All you need to ensure is that your cover does meet the bank's requirements. Otherwise, you are good to go. So I'd like for us to recap on our benefits, our BetterSure benefits. So homeowners like you, often first-time home buyers, do want a peace of mind that your home, your belongings, and your family are protected from unexpected events. So you don't want to be tripped by, the fine print and the jargon for insurance. And to be honest, you don't need to be insurance experts to protect your family's biggest asset, but it is our job to ensure that we simplify it for you so that you know what it is that you're covered for, when it matters, and why it matters. Now let's talk numbers. So over a 20-year bond period, homeowners face a 50% chance of an unexpected event happening. And this could be anything like fires, floods, death, disability, critical illness, and even retrenchment. And in South Africa alone, over 650 homeowners or breadwinners die and become disabled every single year. And 20,000 homes are lost due to fires and floods. And we've seen in the KZN area, we've seen in Mpumalanga and Limpopo that this is a reality in our country. Now, these numbers are not meant to alarm you, but it is important to ensure that you have a proactive plan in place and ensure that you do know what you have in place for when life happens. Now, let's get into your benefits. Firstly, we've got your homeowners cover, or others call it building insurance or home insurance. The purpose of the home insurance structure, home insurance structure, insurance, is to help you recover from any loss or damage to your immovable structure. Now, we like to give an example to our clients that if you turn the house upside down, everything that does not fall forms part of the structure. So think your geysers, think walls, your roof, your ceilings, your windows, your solar panels. So if your geyser bursts and floods your ceiling at 2 a.m. in the morning, it is your homeowner's cover that comes to the rescue. And if you're buying in a sectional title, then the body corporate will get you sorted. Now, at BetterSure, we go way beyond the basics, not just what the bank requires, but we also offer benefits such as the appliance maintenance benefit, where we cover labor as well as spare parts up to 2,000 Rand for major appliances. So this is your fridges, your dishwashers, and your washing machines. Then we've got the home maintenance cover. I call this the single mom's benefit, one of my favorite, where we cover a call out fee in the first hour of labor for minor repairs around the house. So if you need a wall painted, if you've got a tile that is chipped and you need just the tile to be fixed, for instance, we cover up to 2,000 Rand per year. Then we also have power surge cover. Now, in a country where load shedding and load reduction are still a reality, it is important that you do have such a cover, because we'll then cover the appliance, for instance, that will be damaged. And if it is your fridge, perhaps that got damaged and the food is also spoiled, we do cover the food as well. Then we've got the annual geyser inspection. Now, at no cost to you, so you don't pay an excess for this, at no cost to you, we send out a professional who will then assess your geyser just to make sure that if there's any damages or anything that could occur gets fixed. And this will help you to proactively attend to those damages before it floods your ceiling. Then we've got the emergency home assistance. This is where you perhaps need a plumber, a locksmith, where maybe the key is lost or maybe damaged. You're an electrician as well. If you need somebody quick, it is that benefit that will then come in handy. Now, there are a lot more benefits available to you. Please read through your policy document to familiarize yourself with those benefits. And if you're unsure, please send us a WhatsApp. Our team is ready to ensure that you understand the benefits. Secondly, we've got the home contents cover. Now, like I said earlier on with the home insurance cover, if you turn your house upside down, everything that does not fall forms part of the structure, but everything else that falls will then form part of your contents. Now, this will be your furniture, your appliances, your electronics, your clothes, your jewelry, your sporting equipment. This protects them against sudden and unexpected events. So you will then enjoy benefits such as with you now moving soon. So if you use a professional company, moving company, not your friend's Bucky, not your own, but if you use a professional company and there are damages to your goods, you are able to claim. Then we've got the appliance maintenance benefit as well under this cover. So if you're buying in a sectional title, you are not left out. And your domestic worker, for instance, if they are injured on your property, they can claim as well. Okay. Then we also have the power surge benefit as well, which is also available under the contents cover, as well as optional portable possessions cover. I saw a question in the comments section. Now, this will cover your electronics, your cell phones, the kids' iPads, your jewelry, for instance. Those you can specify, and we can, of course, ensure that we cover them for you. Now, on our website, please go through the Learn page where you will get care tips on how to prolong the usage of your items. Then we've got life cover. At BetterSure, we don't only just cover the structure of the home, but we also protect the people whose income holds that family together. So here's something that might surprise you. The Association of Savings and Investment South Africa released a report in 2025 that found that on average, every South African has a shortfall of 3.1 million rand in death as well as disability cover. And more than 85% of our breadwinners don't have critical illness cover. So this means, or this rather tells me, that most South African families are dramatically underinsured. Now, if anything happens to you, your family should be able to grieve instead of lose the home in the process. And that's where your life cover comes in handy. Now, some benefits which you will have under the life cover, if you've got cover with us, it is a whole of life cover, firstly. So it's not a credit life where it only covers the shortfall or whatever you're owing at the bank at that time, but it is a whole of life cover, meaning it settles what you're owing. And if there's any money left, it is then paid to your family. And if you pay up your bond, you are, of course, welcome to use the very same cover to protect additional properties. Then we also include a 30,000 Rand immediate expense benefit, which pays out to your family within 48 hours of a valid claim. And there's a 6 months waiting period from when the cover starts. And the family can really use that money for any expenses that arise due to your passing, maybe to prepay for the funeral expenses as well. We also have critical illness cover, which pays at a lump sum equal to your loan amount, of course, to ensure that while you're recovering, while you're focused on treatment, for instance, if it's a cancer, then you know that your bond is covered. We also have disability, which comes in two parts. It's permanent disability as well as temporary disability. If it's permanent disability, we pay out the full sum insured equal to the loan amount. If it's a temporary disability, while you recover, we pay up to 12 monthly installments with the bank. Then, if you are retrenched, we pay up to 30,000 Rand every single month for up to 12 months while you are in between jobs or even looking for a job. Now, with the BetterSure protection policy, it is an immediate cover, so we don't have any waiting periods, and it is a whole of life cover. And we don't require you to go for any medicals, so you don't have to worry about you being declined cover after going for those medical tests or maybe your premium increasing. Okay, then just like any other life cover or any insurance for that matter, there are events that we do not cover. So firstly, you need to be in South Africa to enjoy cover. If you plan to be outside the country for more than 90 days in a year, you will have to let us know. And if you're breaking the law, so if you're drinking and driving, for instance, then that claim will not be entertained. If you've got any pre-existing health conditions, so this could be maybe high blood, a heart attack, diabetes, any form of cancer, we apply a 24 months waiting period instead of charging you extra for living with a health condition. And if you, of course, are participating in terrorist activities, strikes or lockouts, if you're participating in them, then unfortunately, we will not pay out. Now, it is important, of course, that you read your policy documents to ensure that you do familiarize yourself with these benefits as well as the exclusions. Now, very importantly, in as much as it is important to have cover, it is crucial that you update your beneficiaries. So please have a look at your policy, your life cover policy documents. Ensure that you've got your beneficiary details are updated. We do know that, when we get married, when we get divorced, for instance, or the birth of a child, those are life-changing events, and policy documents also need to be updated. So it is important that you do update us. It is very quick to update us. Send us a WhatsApp, give us a call, and we'll immediately update those for you. Then also remember that once you sign the OTP, you are liable to sign to have life cover. You've got a legal obligation. So if you pass away after you've signed that OTP, God forbid, the seller can hold your estate or your family liable to hold their end of the bargain. So if you've got life cover, make sure that it starts as soon as possible, even before the bond registers. Now, in as much as it is important for us to acquire all these assets, you've got a home, you've got life cover, great. But it is important that you also have a will, a last will and testament. Now, did you know that almost 70% of South Africans don't have a valid signed will? So without that, it is the state that decides what happens with your assets, what happens with your house, whom it goes to, and how it is divided. Now, with BetterSure, we do offer you a free will. It is complimentary, and Gavin will definitely share a little bit of that with you.
Gavin, what do you see on the claims desk?
Thanks, Mokhlodi and Tatu. Hi, everyone. In my role, I've seen just about everything that can go wrong in a home. And in this time, I've learned a lot of things. I think the biggest is that the small problems left too long become massive, expensive repairs. And how you maintain your home directly affects whether your claim gets paid when something goes wrong. Geysers and leaking pipes are consistently one of the most common and costly home insurance claims that we have. This is then followed by storm claims, which accounts for around 34% of our total claim payouts. This includes events such as floods, lightning, and hail. And while fires are not all that common, the payouts are large because fire damage can be catastrophic by nature. I need to probably just share a little bit of sad news. The National Financial Government Scheme confirmed that poor maintenance and general wear and tear is probably the number one reason for why home insurance claims get rejected. It is important to remember that from an insurance perspective, we cover sudden and unexpected events, not problems that build up over time. Therefore, proactive maintenance isn't just good housekeeping, it's how you protect your family and your claim. With that in mind, I'd like to offer some practical steps that you can use to maintain your property. Winter is here and geyser claims spike. Get a drip tray fitted if your geyser is in your roof space. It's reasonably low cost. It saves you thousands and resultant damage. Your geyser inspection benefit, or use your geyser inspection benefit and ask your provider to install it while they are there. Fit a geyser blanket. It reduces the heat loss, lowers your electricity bill, and potentially extends the geyser's lifespan. And then it's also important to remember that you need to replace your pressure control valves every 5 years or so. And this is something that most people skip. When it comes to blocked gutters, these are a silent destroyer. Your water is going to back up, it's going to seep under your tiles and eat away at your ceilings and walls. Clean them at least twice a year and check that your downpipes drain away from your foundations. It's also, while you're busy with your gutters, I suggest you also check your roof regularly. If you have cracked or missing tiles, damaged sheets, loose flashings, a small repair now is a fraction of the cost of a damaged ceiling, any potential mold and structural work later. When it comes to overhanging branches, these are your responsibility. So I'd suggest that you trim your trees regularly. Importantly, damage caused by a tree fellow without his own liability insurance won't be covered. And we cover up to 2,000 Rand for tree removal after an insured event. But please get our approval first. Also, watch out for large root systems near your foundations and boundary walls. They can potentially cause structural damage, and this could happen long before that's clearly visible. Do you know where your shut-off or your main water supply shut-off valve is? If a pipe bursts every minute, searching for it leads to more damage. So please ensure that you know exactly where that is to try and limit any potential consequential loss. Slow drips under your sink, just the same. They might look insignificant at the time, but over time they could potentially cause a heck of a lot of damage. I also suggest, particularly up here in the Highveld, that you insulate your exposed pipes over winter. Again, it's just good risk mitigation. When it comes to your electrical, as noted earlier, fit surge protectors on your main DB board and on sensitive appliances, particularly TVs, computers, anything electronic. It's a cheap way to protect your possessions. In an older home, you get your electrical wiring inspected and have it done by someone who is a qualified electrician. Outdated wiring is a safety risk, not just an insurance one. And on that note, power surges from grid interruptions and restorations are not covered. So it is important that you're proactive in terms of fitting those surge protectors. And finally, watch out for damp ceilings, bubbling paint, water stains, and musty smells. Fix them promptly because damp causes structural damage, but it also poses very real health risks to you and your family. With that in mind, this is why we created the Healthy Home Rewards. It's an industry first that rewards you for looking after your home. There are no signups, no hidden fees, real actions, real savings. Here's how you can go up to save up to 30% on your premium. 15% discount when you achieve a green healthy home status on your free healthy home condition report. Just upload a few photos of your home. It takes under 10 minutes. And there's a further 5% discount for completing a quick health check. I promise there will be no judgments and no penalties. Further 5% for installing that drip tray that I referred to earlier in this section. And then finally, a further 5% for finalizing your complimentary Better Will. As an added bonus, if your healthy home status improves next year, you'll get 1,000 Rand smart home device voucher, which is ultimately what we want, a healthier home, smaller premium, smarter home, and that's the plan. We'll also include all the details in the summary we sent through to you after today. Even when you do everything right, the unexpected does happen, and there may be excesses to pay. You get the option to choose your excess when you take out your policy. When you claim, we'll send out an assessor to confirm if you have a valid event. Not sure if something is a maintenance issue or a covered event, please give us a call before you start any repairs. It just protects your claim. Your free Healthy Home Condition Report will also help you spot maintenance risks before they become claims, so please use it. Let me leave you with a real story because I think this sums up what we're about. The ceiling was down, the customer's house was half flooded, the pipe was sorted in less than 2 hours, and this is what being prepared really looks like.
But let me just recap. What did we learn today? We learned that it's important to have a plan for a smooth move, and now you've got the tips for that. We helped you to understand your benefits better, even if you're not an insurance expert. We also spoke about having a comprehensive insurance plan in place and that it's important what that insurance plan should include. And then we also ended things off by helping you with that plan to keep your home in tip-top condition. So now we can safely say that you're on your way to a healthy home where you have a proactive plan so that you're ready when life happens. Thank you once again, everybody. Your home is one of the most important things you'll ever own. Now, you've already taken the biggest step by buying it. But now you're empowered with the proactive plan to protect it. So thank you for trusting BetterSure. We know that you'll be ready when life happens. All the best with your upcoming move and enjoy your new home. Good night, everybody.